Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Kombi system that Stihl makes and how it can fit on your ROPS. I haven't made it yet, but I'm going to make a kind of a rifle rack type deal where you could just kind of mount it on the back of the ROPS. They're short enough pieces so you could still get through the woods and they won't get hung up on stuff. Not like a designated weed whip or brush cutter where they're like 6 foot long. They're like 4 foot wide, and that's about as wide as my tractor is. And some of them are a little shorter. Some are like closer to 3 foot. With the Kombi system, you can select different size power heads, and now they have the battery powered electric one. So you can get up early, get stuff done, and not wake everybody up in your neighborhood. I have a few attachments. I don't have all of them. They have up to 13, I think, or 14 different attachments. I'm still using the original power unit that I bought when I bought this system. It's the KM90R, and now I think this one's been replaced with the KM91R. I've had no problems with it, just keep running non-ethanol gas and it's been fine. And the other thing I like too is I don't have to maintain a bunch of different heads or power units, because you know if they sit around, they're gonna get gummed up and stop running anyway. I just got one to deal with different attachments, and it doesn't take long to switch them out. It's only one knob. Just kind of shove it in and then just spin her tight. And the way it slides in is there's an arrow here and an arrow here, and there's a little bump right there, and that fits in the slot. So then it just kind of goes in that slot, pushes almost to the red line, and then you just tighten her up. And that's that. I have had a problem when I was in the woods, and I was at it for about, I don't know, a couple hours, and this did vibrate loose, or got a little loose on me, and the attachment slid out a little bit, and it stopped working. I thought it stopped working, but it actually just slid out enough to where the shaft wasn't connected. And I figured that out right away, but that has happened. So now I just really crank her down, which is, it's pretty stout, so cranking it down doesn't seem to hurt it. Here's my pole saw. This is one of the attachments that you can have. It's a 12-inch pole saw. It actually measures out to like 11 inches. So just so you know. And then you can use this with an extension. This handle doesn't come with the extension. I actually took it off of another weed eater, so before I tossed it out, I tried to scavenge what I could, and this actually fit on here real good. The pole saw attachment with the extension, see what it measures out to. About 127 inches from end to end. Now the other thing I like about this pole saw, you can use this and stand up. So not only cutting stuff high, you can actually cut things on the ground and not even bend over. So when I got stuff that's probably 2 or 3 inches, I can, you know, or do a little bit of limbing, not like on a big tree, but just brush that you want to cut down and stuff before you throw in a wood chipper or throw in your trailer. Instead of having this big old bulky thing, you could take this and just kind of, you know, limb it down and not even bend over. When I first got the system, I actually bought it to do the trails that I used the FS460C on. I bought the attachment with this blade on it. And this is actually good for like tall grass, but it doesn't really do good for cutting small trees. They sell the same chisel blade that's on the 460C, and the blades can be changed. So now I got something for tall grass, and then I got this for small trees. This is another interesting blade. It's a kind of like it's this 3-bladed type blade. This actually works pretty good if you use it in like a stomping motion, and it chops it up into smaller pieces as you stomp on it. It'll cut it down. You got so many different ways you can use just even one attachment. Just for reference, these are like 9 inches roughly, 9 or 10, and this hole in the center is 1 inch or 25.4 millimeter. And then of course you got your string line trimmer. And I tried out this. It's called the Power Sickle, and it works kind of like a hedge trimmer. It's just that it's a little shorter. Yeah, that measures out to about 10 or 11 inches. It felt kind of, I mean, you can angle it so that you can use it up, low, down low, but it's a lot of weight kind of at the end. So swinging this thing around with all this actual mass or metal, it didn't work for me. I didn't enjoy it. It took a little more effort. I went with the KM90R, which is now the KM91R, because it was the lightest professional power head. This one would probably be a little too small for doing any like tilling, or they have a tilling attachment that you could put on here. It would probably be a little too light for that. I don't have any of those attachments, any type of attachments that would take a lot of torque. And this one seems to be just the right amount of power for the type of attachments that I use it for. It does come with like a shoulder strap, which I have a problem with this because it'll actually, while I'm using it, it'll actually rotate, and and the padded part won't be on my shoulder. I looked it up on Amazon, and they actually have a Stihl harness that works good on this with a small paddle for your hip. And this actually works pretty good. Here's the information on the package. I actually like this harness. This one has 2 shoulder straps. It X's off at the back end, and it has 1 snap in the middle. And it also has the paddle. And you can adjust it for, you know, different torso lengths. I have it pretty high here because once it's on, it pulls down and it's just right. And it has that same thumb hook that you could push on, or unhooks it from the power head. So it's on there now, and then you just use your thumb and it pushes right off. When we bought the property, this is what we came up with as our first brush cutter. Very dangerous idea. But, you know, you see all kinds of stuff on YouTube. Don't know until you try it out. I don't recommend this.